Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the best sports show out, episode 55. Highly opinionated. I'm your co-host Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, the best co-host in the game. What's up, Tim? How you doing, my brother?
What's up with you, man? Great Monday, man. Ready to talk ball, get into everything, man. Just happy to be here, man.
Happy that you're here, bro. Happy to have you every week, bro. Amazing. You're an amazing fella, an amazing guy, yo. Definitely. Uh, just want to thank you for everything you bring to the show, bro. You definitely are the best.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best editor, the best producer, the best guy here on Highly Opinionated. What's up, Ross? How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you feeling, Josh?
I am good, man. I am good. Uh, like Tim said, man, ready to come talk some football. Been a great week of college, great week of pro football. Ready to
We got
obviously
the
recap
NBA
last.
coming up.
Yeah, you're right. NBA is coming up this Tuesday. Tuesday night is the first night of the NBA season. We'll definitely dive a little bit into that as well. Got the MLB World Series. We'll figure out who will be playing the Dodgers in the World Series. So great time to be a sports fan. Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for watching episode 54 of last week's show. We appreciate all the love. We appreciate all the support. Again, this show is nothing without you guys' support. So we are extremely grateful, thankful for that. Uh, to show that love and support, Ross, let them know where they can follow us at on our social medias.
Yes, sir. Y'all can follow us on Instagram, highly opinionated __. Follow us on TikTok at highly opinionated _SS. Follow us on Twitter or X at highly O_SS. And of course, y'all already on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and to leave a comment for sure.
We appreciate all the love. We appreciate all the support. And again, you have a difference of opinion with me, Tim. This is the place for you. We accept all. We accept everyone. Again, this is the place for you. Tim, ready to get episode 55 started, my brother.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Again, before we start our week 8 recap of college football, we have to start with another team firing their head coach. The Florida Gators have fired Billy Napier. He is no longer the head coach. It was writing on the wall that we always seen coming. Most people thought he was going to lose his job last season. He somehow found a way to, win a couple games last season to keep his job. But he was 22-23 in 4 seasons, and he was 3-4 this season. Florida's on a bye week before their November 1st game against Georgia. I call it, Tim, we grew up calling it the world's largest cocktail party. I don't know what they call it now. I guess they mimicked it down a little bit, but Georgia and Florida, they play every year in Florida for the most part. Your thoughts on Florida dismissing Billy Napier? What do you think they should do moving forward?
I mean, I agree with it. I don't think they was getting the best out of that, best out of the situation over there. 22-23. That's not a winning record, and it's not even above 500 or actually 500 or more. So I understand it. I think Florida's biggest problem is that the offense, like they not getting the quarterbacks, they not getting a recruit, and it's a little crazy that Florida is not getting recruits in that area, in that state. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of a letdown. I think it's more of recruiting than anything else. I don't know how much his buyout was, so I can't even tell you what I had keep him on the staff like I would have with Franklin. But hey, man, it happens. I mean, hey, man, there's some options out there, man, because I think what's the name might be next to him. It might be 2 coaching jobs open in Florida soon, in the state of Florida.
You talking about the great Mike Norvell?
Yeah, I think they said they was going to give him to the end of the season, but I mean, I think they will. You know what I'm saying? Just because he won a championship 2 years ago, but I mean, not won the championship. My fault. They was undefeated 2 years ago till they played Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So I think
that's not even like I'm not cutting you off. That's not even fully factual. Like they were going to make the college football playoff until they lost their quarterback, and then they might have would have won the championship. You found me?
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't saying it like that. I got my words mixed up, but yeah. So 2 years old, he kind of got a little longer rope just because of, you know what I'm saying, recency. They was relevant recent, but he keep losing to Stanford and teams like that. He gonna be home with me soon. So, yeah, man. But yeah, for what's the name? I think it's some eligible like Jimbo Fisher out there. You got what's the name out there? Franklin out there, of course. And I think it's going to be some more firings as the season go on. what's the name? Just got fired. Trent Dilfer just got fired. Might be able to do something in that Florida area because he, you know what I'm saying, he coached high school there at IMG, so it's a little plug there that can make it work. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely a tough situation for Billy Napier. You asked about his buyout. His buyout is right here, approximately $21 million.
Oh, that's on the cheaper side, I guess. You know what
Yeah, that's
I'm
on the cheap
saying?
side. Cheap side.
Yeah,
Cheap side.
cheaper
He would
side.
get 10 million. He gets $10 million of that within 30 days.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Guaranteed. The next
yeah.
next 30 days, he getting 10 million.
Oh yeah, so we can pay that with no problem there. So he don't gotta stay around like I would have Franklin. So he good. We pay that
Yeah,
out.
he wouldn't have to. He wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Just before I touch the Florida situation, let me touch all the coaches that have been fired. Arkansas fired Sam Pittman. Colorado State fired Jay Norvell. Florida fired Billy Napier. Kent State fired Kenny Burns. Oklahoma State fired Mike Gundy. Oregon
God
State
no
fired
gun.
Oregon State fired Trent Bray. Penn State fired James Franklin. Stanford fired Troy Taylor. Obviously, they have an interim coach now with Frank Wright, but Frank Wright won't be there forever. We did that. Virginia Tech fired Brett Pry. Brett Pry? Pry, yeah. UAB fired Trent Dilfer, and then UCLA fired Deshaun Foster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 11 jobs open right now. You got 11 Division I college football job opens. As far as Florida, we agree on that. I just think Florida, they had a good coach. Like what you said last week about Penn State, I feel that applies to Florida because they're searching for something, quite frankly, that they don't have anymore. They want someone that talks, pardon my language, they want somebody that talks shit and wear a visor. Well, bro, that's Steve Spurrier.
Yeah.
And if you really want to go new school, that's Lane Kiffin. Obviously, Florida's interested in Lane Kiffin. Would you leave Ole Miss to go to Florida?
I wouldn't because I feel like he could do this, whatever. Like he could be relevant at Ole Miss, like win 9 to 10, 8, probably 8 to 10 games, 8 to 10 games a year at Ole Miss, and he his job would be secure. Whereas though if he do that at Florida, eventually they expect him to win a national championship just because it's Florida. So I think his job security is better at Ole Miss personally to me because you know them schools that think they can win championships like regularly your leash a little shorter than schools that just want to be competitive in a way.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I wouldn't leave Ole Miss because what you're doing at Ole Miss, you could do at Florida. It's not like you're going to get better athletes at Florida than you are at Ole Miss. You're still getting top of the top. Maybe not top of the top athletes all the time, but you're still getting 4-star and some 5-star commitments there. And obviously, you can use the transfer portal to your advantage. So for me, yeah, Florida, they need to let whoever their next coach is, they need to let him develop the talent that's there without being all on his back like how they were with Billy Napier. You're not winning enough. No, you need to let the coach develop the talent, develop the players, and then you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if Florida's going to do the same thing within the next 4 years, they're going to have the same cycle. You got to let these coaches develop. Come in, let them develop their talent, and then you can put the expectations on.
Question for you.
Yes.
How do you develop talent with this era? Like how? Like I was thinking about this the other day. Like how do, like with so many people interchanging and leaving the school and like that, how do you really develop a culture and a standard at a school now once like with everything interchanging like this? Like how do you start it? You know what I'm saying?
So for me, what I would do is obviously you have a team in college, you have a team of 100 guys, right? Let's say 120 some guys. All right, 120 some guys. You're not going to, as a coach, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't coached on the level that you had, but just from me being around the game, understanding the game, when a coach speaks, yes, he's trying to talk to everyone, but the message won't get through to everyone. So the guys that the message gets through, you guys are my core guys. Right. So you teach everyone loyalty, stability, like we all one for all for one, stuff like that. Yeah. But in the essence, you're really going to talk to your core guys. You feel me? And then you try to teach the morals to those. You try to teach the morals to the whole team, but again, you try to teach the morals to the guys that really get it. And then those are your core. Like for example, what Harbaugh did at Michigan, J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corn. Colston Lover. Like, they were the core guys. Will Johnson. They stayed around for an extra year. Like, yo, this is our best shit. We're going to keep developing, knock on the door, and then we'll get there. And that was in the NIL era. The NIL era. So for me, it can be done, but like, you have to give the coach a chance to do it. Look, again, going back to Michigan. Michigan was going to fire Harbaugh. He had that bad COVID year. Remember that COVID year, they didn't even want to play Ohio State because they knew they was going to get ran off the field.
Yeah.
They reduced his salary. He had to show that he was worth it. He started winning the Big Ten championship. Got to the playoff again. Then won the national championship. You can do it. You just have to let your coach develop the talent. Come on, man. They don't let these, like, Billy Napier was there for 4 years. James Franklin was there for 12. So James Franklin had a longer leash. I get that. Yeah. So me judging him is different than judging somebody at a job for 4 years. You can't do this. I can't do the same thing in 4 years that you can do in 12.
Right.
So that's what I would do. I would, yeah. What about you? How would you attack it?
my idea a little different than everybody else, right? So how I would do it will be I wouldn't take guys that transfer more than once. That would be one of my team policies. And another policy I would have is I spread the NIL money over equally, right? So starters get paid this amount, rookies get it. I'm just going to make it like the league. So we just going to cap anything. I don't care who you are. 5-star recruit quarterback, you get paid this amount. You don't like it, you don't got to play here. That way, now I got like a system where as though you know what you get paid. You know what I'm saying? If you work your way up, you get paid more. You slip up, you get paid. You know what I'm saying? So that way, I'm trying to keep this thing competitive balance. I want this thing to be balanced out. So that way, there was no way you could feel slighted or Coach Tim he don't like me. That's why I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some type of checks and balances system with me so I could get the most out of you. I feel that way.
I'll say this. College football is basically semi-pro. That's not a terrible. That's actually a great idea. I was going to say that's not a terrible idea. That's a great idea because now you're teaching them what they're going to learn in the NFL. The better you play in the NFL, the more money you're going to make. The worse you play in the NFL, the faster they'll get rid of you. So, tough situation for Florida. We will definitely be interested in see who they hire as their next head football coach. So let's start out Week 8 college football recap. Let's start off with Louisville. They went down to Miami, the number 2 ranked team in the country. They upset Miami 24-21. Miller Moss, 23 of 37, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Isaac Brown, 13 carries, 113 yards. Chris Bell, 9 catches, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carson Beck, 25 of 35, 271 yards. He had 4 interceptions. Mark Fletcher Jr., 8 carries, 18 yards, 1 touchdown. Malachi Tony, 9 catches, 135 yards. Your thoughts on Miami? Well, your thoughts on Louisville upsetting Miami and Miami dropping down to number 9 in the rankings.
That's how you play football, Louisville. I was excited. Like, I knew they was trying to win when they went forward first, early in the game, 4th and 2. And on their own side of the field. I said, oh, yeah, we try and win. Dang, you know what I'm saying? We respect Miami, but we try and win the game. So that's when I felt like, all right. And then they drove the ball, scored. And then y'all know how I feel about Carson Wreck, man. I call him Carson Wreck, man. At some point, he going to wreck that game for you. And that's what he did. I just ain't know what game it was going to be. But I knew deep down inside he was going to wreck a game. And that was the one he wrecked. And shorty, Chris Bell, that's a pro, man. He, after the catch, big physical after the catch, I like him a lot, man. He should be on a lot of draft boards after what I saw the other day. He was torching Miami secondary. Like every time they needed a big play, he made it. Like it wasn't no guessing who was getting the ball. He got the ball, made the play. Shout out to Louisville, man. That's a big win on the road. I told you it would have been. I picked Miami, but I told you it was going to be a close game because Louisville actually brought some defense this year. They finally figured that they had to play that side of the ball out. So, man, shout out to Louisville, man. Big win, man.
And they got the upset king coach in Jeff Brom. He did it in the Big Ten, and he did it, and he's doing it now in Louisville and the ACC. Louisville improves that record to 5-1. Miami drops to 5-1. Shout out to Chris Bell. You took the words right from me, so I will shout out someone else. To me, this game was dominated in the area that I thought Miami improved in. It dominated in the trenches. Isaac Brown had 113 yards. Mark Fletcher had 18 yards. So now you put Miami. I'm not going to call Carson Beck Carson Wreck. That's a clever name. I like, but he needs a run game. You expect him to do everything on his own. He can't do that. And for me, Louisville shut off the run. So when you shut the run off, you put the ball in Carson Beck's hands, and he threw 4 interceptions. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't have a chance to watch his post-game interview where he blamed the wide receiver that was totally weak sauce, that was totally whack, Carson Beck, I like Miami, but you can't do that. Bro, you had 4 interceptions. That was terrible. You can't talk about somebody ran the wrong route. You can't talk about the play was called right, but the wrong route was ran. No, you can't do that. Sir, be better than that. You had 4 interceptions. You played bad. Stand up there like a man, own it, and get ready for next week. Next week, y'all play, I think they play, I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I think they play Stanford next week. So they play Stanford Saturday night, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Get ready for that game. Improve that game. Be better, Carson Beck. Do not blame your teammates. That's why them guys at Georgia ain't mess with you, because you was blaming your teammates inside the locker room. Can't do that. Step up, own your mistake. Let's move forward. The next game we're going to recap: Notre Dame 34, USC 24. USC and Notre Dame. Before I give you the stats, Tim, this might be the last time that Notre Dame and USC play for a while. This is the last time they have it on the schedule. Some people are saying it's because USC moved to the Big Ten. So USC look like we already have a tough schedule. We don't need to add one more game. Notre Dame wants to play the game later. Notre Dame wants the game to be played later in the season. USC wants the game to be played early in the season. So they're butting heads over that. So hopefully this is not the last time that this game is played. USC, Jordan Maviava, 22 of 42, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. King Miller, 18 carries, 70 yards. Jacoby Lane, 6 catches, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown. For Notre Dame, CJ Carr, 16 of 26, 136 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Jeremiah Love, 24 carries, 228 yards, 1 touchdown. Jadarian Price, 13 carries, 87 yards, a touchdown. Jordan Faison, 6 catches, 60 yards. Your thoughts on Notre Dame beating USC?
Man, all I had was the price of Love was too much for USC, man. Price and Love dominated that game, bro, from start to finish. Love first run was like 60-something yards, bro. I'm like, oh, man, USC. And the crazy thing is, I think USC played good football for 3 quarters and like 6 minutes. And then the turnover bug hit them. Like, Mavi started throwing interceptions, and it just went downhill from there. Like, they couldn't stop the run, but they was in the game. But it was like, man, yeah, USC, man. That wasn't crazy bad, Lane Kiffin. So y'all fought. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all turnovers really changed that game, because I believe it was 3 turnovers to none, if I'm not mistaken. And y'all had Price ran back a kick return. Once y'all got momentum, y'all went up. Price ran back. He's like, God, you can't give up a kick return right after you gain momentum. But shout out to Notre Dame, man. They played a clean game. Yo, it's hard to stop them 2 running backs, bro. Like, both of them nice. Like, both of them like that.
Yeah, both of them NFL running backs. Definitely both of them can play. Like you said, Price had the kickoff return to go along with the 87 yards on the ground, and Love was just destroying them. He averaged basically 10 yards per rush.
Yeah,
so you wasn't going to stop that. I picked Notre Dame to win the game. They had to win the game. Like, they had to win the game. Once USC beat Michigan, and like you say, they had a number by their name, they had to win that game, because that was the only way they was going to get into the playoff. Now, if I'm a Notre Dame fan, you don't need Miami slipping up no more. Like, now, you need Miami to handle business, because if Miami lose again, it's not going to be to Louisville might be the best team. Well, yeah, other than Notre Dame, Louisville might be the best team that they play. So, or that they played. So,
yeah,
Miami can't lose another game.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You good.
Miami don't play SMU, I don't think. Because that'd be the only team that I could see give them a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, I don't know if they play Pitt neither. Pitt might give them a little scare. If they ain't already played Pitt, I can't remember. But yeah.
No, actually, Miami do play SMU. Play SMU November 1st on the road.
So that'll be their last. I won't say last test, but that'll be a test.
The 2 teams you mentioned, they play November the 1st at SMU, and then they play November 29th at Pitt.
So them 2 games, Pitt starting a young quarterback, so that might, depending on where that game at, might not be.
Both games on the road.
Both on the road. Okay, so yeah, they might. Those 2 games might give them a little challenge, especially SMU. But yeah, but they should they gonna be favored to win with the rest of their games.
Yeah, they should be favored, but I'm saying if I'm a Notre Dame fan, we got our win. I think Notre Dame gonna run the rest of the tape.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get your point. Yeah,
they can't have they
Miami
can't
lose.
have Miami. Now, think about it. If Texas A&M lose, that's fine. They lose the SEC teams, like you say, with a number by their name. Even though some of them SEC teams are really, really good, in my opinion. So all right, that's fine. Notre Dame ain't got nobody with, they're not playing no more ranked teams. They won't lose. But if Miami lose, that, depending on who they lose to, that could be trouble for Notre Dame chances to make the college football playoff. Congratulations.
Miami one loss, right?
They got one loss, yeah.
Yeah. So SMU, they okay. I got
it. All right, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say they lose to SMU and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they can't lose both.
That's what I'm saying. Now, forget Miami making it. They will already be out just because. But now they look at Notre Dame like, damn, you feel me? Like, now they're looking at your resume.
Even though, but I see, that's why I think the committee should be made of like actual players or former players or something, like not these random people they got. Because like like a week one loss compared to a team in week 9 or 8, you know what I'm saying? It's two different teams. So it's like, okay, yeah, they did lose to them week in 1, but that shouldn't hinder them from making the playoffs because they lost to somebody in week 1. Like say Alabama run the table, you know what I'm saying? And say for some reason there's a bunch of one-loss teams in there, right? And they be like, oh no, they lost to Florida State. And Florida State ain't do nothing after that. You feel me? That shouldn't really hinder them because it's like, all right, that was week 1, and I then beat all these other teams with numbers next to their name since then. You feel what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with that, but I will say some losses are more harmful than others.
No, for sure. But I'm saying, say SMU, but they 4-2, right? Say they, well, you said November, so say they like 8-2 going to that game. Is that really a bad loss? Because they probably have a number by their name by then too, right? So that ain't really a bad. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't really be. That ain't no bad loss.
It wouldn't be. No, you are right. I do think it should be some players on that committee other than coaches and former staff members. I'll give you that. I definitely agree with you on that. Again, Notre Dame beat USC 34-24. Congratulations to the Fighting Irish. Again, hopefully this is not the last time that they play each other. Hopefully this rivalry continues in the future. Last game we're going to recap for week 8. BYU defeated Utah 24-21. Utah was led by Devon Dampier, 20 of 36, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Daniel Bray, 10 carries, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Ryan Davis, 7 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown for BYU. Our boy Brockmeyer, 13 of 22, 166 yards, 1 touchdown. He added 64 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown run. LJ Miller, 26 carries, 122 yards. Parker Kingston, 4 catches, 50 yards. Chase Roberts, 2 catches, 43 yards, and 1 touchdown. Your thoughts on BYU becoming 7-0, and with the loss that Texas Tech had in the Big 12 on the road at Arizona State, BYU is currently the number 1 team in the Big 12. Your thoughts on BYU becoming 7-0?
Yo, that was a physical game. Like I love the physicality of this game. Like it was like smash mouth football. Like BYU had 6 linemen out there sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't too much of that flashy 5 receivers, 4 receivers, all this motion stuff. It's like we coming downhill, coming right at you, stop us. You know what I'm saying? And more than likely, most of the time, you ain't gonna stop. So like that's what I loved about this game from both sides. Like I felt like Utah, they actually played pretty solid game. You know what I'm saying? The interception from Dampier probably was the difference. Probably was the difference maker. But man, it was a good game to watch from start to finish. Like shout out to BYU. They're gonna be a tough out to beat, man. Like even with Texas, because Texas Tech, they started the backup quarterback. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Morton wasn't the starter this week. Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah. So I mean, of course, see in the committee eyes, that to me that'd make that loss. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it ain't starting quarterback, so it's a little different to be. How do you judge that game from the committee's perspective? You know what I'm saying? But shout out to BYU, man. That was a big win, man. I like what I saw from them. Physical team. I actually picked this one right. Thank you. About time I get something right. So shout out BYU, man.
BYU. This was a physical game. BYU was the more physical team. Brockmeyer had a run, show physicality. Literally, guys pushing them and carrying them. He carrying guys like to the goal line. Like so. BYU is all about physicality. So is Utah. Both coaches emphasize that, solidify that. They breed that. They live that. So I didn't expect this game to be a blowout. I picked BYU as well to win the game. Um, I thought BYU was going to win the game because they were home and they were slightly better, and that to me ended up being the advantage. That Dampier interception, like you said, bad play. BYU took advantage of that, and they found a way to get to 7-0. Congratulations to BYU on beating Utah. Tim, it's time to preview Week 9 of the college football season. And we will start off with SMU at Wake Forest. This game is Saturday, 12 o'clock on the CW. SMU is 4-2. Wake Forest is 3-2. Tim, who gets this much needed ACC win? SMU or Wake Forest?
I know most of y'all probably why they pick this game, right? So, but this game actually got some type of ACC implications on the line. You know what I'm saying? Because if SMU keep winning, they could play right back into the ACC championship. And Wake Forest 3-2, man, underrated team. Like back in the day, they used to have all these super seniors, is what they used to call them. They used to have all these 5 or 6 year seniors. I don't know if that's still working this new day of age, but this should be a pretty good game, man. I think SMU gonna pull it out. Kevin Jennings. I just like what they do offensively, man. It's hard to stop that offense. Defensively, it looked like they have gotten better since that week 1 loss when they couldn't stop nothing. So I got SMU to win this game.
SMU is favored by 3.5. Over under is 53.5. SMU is 5-2. Wake Forest is 4-2.
14,
My correction. My apologies. Again, this game is on the CW network, 12 o'clock Saturday. I am with Tim. I'm taking Kevin Jennings. He's the best quarterback in this game. Rhett Lashley is the best coach in this game. Dave Clawson is the Wake Forest coach. Solid coach. But for me, I think Rhett Lashley is like I said, the better coach, and I'm taking SMU to find a way to get a win on the road and beat Wake Forest Saturday at 12 o'clock. The next game we're going to preview is the number 8 Ole Miss Rebels travel to number 13 to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. This game is Saturday, 12 o'clock on ABC. I'll start us off this time. Ole Miss is coming off a tough road loss to Georgia. Oklahoma is coming off a win. So this is a tough game for me because I think both teams. Oklahoma's coming off a win against South Carolina. They beat South Carolina 26-7. So both teams are coming into the game at 5-1. So, man, I'm going to take Oklahoma. Barely take Oklahoma. I think John Mateer and Brett Venables find a way to get this win at home. Give me Oklahoma to beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, this game is a clash match, man. Like offense, Ole Miss got a real good offense versus Oklahoma got real good defense. They be sacking everybody. Oklahoma offense, it looked better this week versus South Carolina, but I think South Carolina did a lot of helping in that with not getting no third down, getting no third downs. So, man, I was thinking, man, but I don't think Lane lose 2 in a row, man. So I'm going Ole Miss, man. I think Ole Miss
not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. Like I said, it's tough because both teams are to me. This is an elimination game. Whoever loses this game, kind of outside looking in. Both teams are 6-1. So I'm gonna take Oklahoma. You got Ole Miss. Should be a great game Saturday, 12 o'clock on ABC. Last game that we're gonna recap is where College Game Day will be at. College Game Day will be live from Vanderbilt Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. The reason why College Game Day is at Vandy is to see the number 15 Missouri Tigers travel to take on the number 10 Vanderbilt Commodores. Game is Saturday at 3:30 on ESPN. Tim, who's leaving Nashville, Tennessee with 7 wins, Missouri or Vanderbilt?
I got to take Vandy at home, man. I just think they believe in Pavia, and Pavia is almost my age, so I think he has a good advantage over a lot of teams because he's been playing college football for so long. He's like a super vet. So give me, and I think they control Ahmad Hardy because the quarterback from Missouri, Bo, not really a good thrower of the football yet. He's still a little inaccurate, a little erratic as well. So I'm going Vandy at home, and this guy be the first. I'm not gonna say the first time because I could be wrong, but this might be the first time game day been in Vanderbilt since who knows. So I think that whole environment gonna be crazy up there. So I think that's gonna help them. I'm not big, I'm not big into like crowds, and all that affected the game, but I think this environment just gonna be a little different. So give me Vanderbilt.
Bo Prabula, Hardy, the running back, Coleman, the wide receiver, Hardy, Ahmad Hardy, Ahmed Hardy, uh, running back from Missouri. He's their best player, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is.
The quarterback, Bro Prabula, he transferred from Penn State. I bet you Penn State wish they had him right about now. I know you say he's not the best thrower, but they definitely better than what they have now. With that being said, I wanted to shout out Missouri. Like I said, they are 6-1. They should be respected. But I'm anchoring down. I'm taking Vanderbilt as well. And for the reason you said, the reason why I think they're going to win has nothing to do with on the field. It has everything to do with off the field. College game day is coming to your time. Oh yeah, you ready for that? Because you ain't had this ain't Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Miami, Florida State. This not. They don't never come to Vanderbilt. I can't remember I can't remember they've ever been going to Vanderbilt in my lifetime of college game day. Maybe they have, but for that reason, I'm taking Diego Pavia. They find a way to get this win at home, and Vanderbilt improves to 7-1. Give me the Commodores to beat Missouri Saturday, 3:30 on ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, it should be a great week of college football action. Week 9 notable games, as you guys see on your screen. Number 18, South Florida travels to Memphis. The game is Saturday at 12 p.m. Number 11, BYU travels to Iowa State Saturday at 3:30. And number 3, Texas A&M tries to stay undefeated in the SEC, and they travel to LSU to take on the number 20 LSU Tigers Saturday at 7:30 on ABC. What game catches your eye, my brother?
The first one. Well, who was it again? My fault. I was looking up how old Diego Pavia was.
You're hilarious. The first one's number 18, South Florida at Memphis.
First Memphis. Yeah, Memphis just came off a loss versus what's the name? Because they had a coaching change. UAB. They just had a coach.
So UAB, quick story. UAB fired Trent Dilford. The interim coach is Chris Mortensen, the former ESPN reporter. That's his son. I think his first name is Alex Mortensen. And they UAB got the win, and they doused him with Gatorade. Same thing they kind of did to Rick Newhouse's son. What's Rick Newhouse's son name? Jerry Newhouse. Sorry, Jerry. Jerry Newhouse did the same thing to Jerry Newhouse as they did to
you know what's crazy to me? Like it's kind of crazy. Like when your coach get fired, like the team respond. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they normally play like in the manner you wish. Like say I got fired, like, and you was the good guy next up, and it's like, dang, why y'all ain't played for me like y'all played for JD? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Like it just always curious to be like how like what like why did it take me to get fired for y'all this energy? Like teams play with like a different energy when like a quarterback change or fire, and it's like like dang, we did that from the gate. I wouldn't have got fired, but what's the name? That Memphis game interesting because I think they kind of ran into like a buzzsaw with the coaching change, and they kind of slept on UAB a little bit. Like, man, we're gonna beat UAB, and then we got into a dogfight. So I think that's gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking at BYU and Iowa State. I feel like that's a big one in the Big 12. Rocco Beck is a quarterback with Iowa State, so we know he's been there for a while as well. We know what he represents. We know how they might play the game. BYU is 7-0. Iowa State is 5-2. So I think that should be a good game. That game is 3:30 p.m. on Fox. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is brought to you by Edibly Airy. Enjoy the heightened experience of THC edibles in a whole new way. At Edibly Airy, our freeze-dry edibles available in 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 300 milligram, 400 milligram will give you the buzz you crave with a flavor you won't forget. Available in 3 different flavors: watermelon sunset, tropical fruit, and berry. To place orders, please visit the website at edibly.com. While you're there at edibly.com, use a promotion code. You guys see the promotion code on the screen. $ Highly Airy, $. Again, $ Highly Airy, $ for 20% off your first purchase. Follow us on IG at Edibly Airy for new product releases and monthly hookups. Must be 21 and over to purchase. Edibly Airy, the best freeze-dry edibles out. Go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. Tim, it's that time to recap Week 7 in the NFL. Let's start with the Rams going to London, absolutely destroying Jacksonville 35-7. Matthew Stafford had a vintage game, 21-33, 182 yards, 5 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, 54 yards. Kyron Williams, 12 carries, 54 yards. Colby Parkson, 3 catches, 47 yards. Devontae Adams, 5 catches, 35 yards, 3 touchdowns. For Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence was 23 of 48, 296 yards, 1 touchdown. Travis Etienne, 8 carries, 44 yards. Travis Hunter, 8 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Your thoughts on the LA Rams improving that record to 5-2, and the Jacksonville Jaguars dropping to 4-3?
Yeah, I said last week Jags was about to come back down to earth, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Like I thought they would at least show some fight in this game. Like, but it's just what the Jags do, man. They at some point they level back off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at least they finally figured out how to get Travis Hunter the ball though. So that was the only good sign. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, Rams dominated from start to finish. It wasn't a game, as y'all see, 35-7. Like, it was never in doubt, never in question. Yeah, shout out to the Rams, man. Good win for the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams improved to 5-2 in that ultra competitive NFC West. Yeah, I obviously know what you think about Seattle, San Francisco, and the LA Rams currently are 5-2. So big win for the Rams. Like you said, they dominated Jacksonville. Game 9:30 our time. Game was in London. They dominated. The NFL needs to stop with these London games. They have not been good. And they weakened the 1 o'clock window, because the 1 o'clock window on Sunday really only had one good game. That was your Philadelphia Eagles defeating the Minnesota Vikings. Or should I say Carson Wentz defeating the Minnesota Vikings. That's another subject for another day. However, you put these games, you try to have these standalone games, you minimize the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock window. So I think they should. You don't have to have a game. You don't have to have like 5 games in London. Maybe have like 2 in London, 1 in Germany, 1 in, Brazil, wherever. You feel me? You don't have to have 5 in London. Like, I get it. I understand. I get it. But it's just saturating the product in which you have. So, because that game, literally after the first few minutes, was damn near unwatchable, unbearable to watch. So, congratulations on the Rams improving that record to 5-2 and stand for a tie first in the NFC West. Next game, and we're going to recap. The Indianapolis Colts went to the LA Chargers and put up 38. Colts defeated the Chargers 38-24. Daniel Jones, 23 of 34, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, 16 carries, 94 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alec Pierce, 5 catches, 98 yards for the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, 37 of 55, a career high, 420 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Justin Herbert led the team in rushing, 31 rushing yards, 6 carries. 2 leading receivers, Granson, the second, 7 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 11 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. Your thoughts on the Indianapolis Colts improving their record to 6-1 and the LA Chargers dropping to 4-3?
Man, so many things I want to say about the Chargers. Colts unplugged the Chargers, man. Like, man, this was a whooping, man. The Colts ain't punt till late, like mid to late third quarter, man. Like the defense, I don't know what's up with the defense, Jim. Like, you gotta talk to me. You're a defensive guy. Like, I need some answers. Like, everybody wide open. Like, every play worked. I never watched the game where I seen every play work. Like everything worked. Like everything wide open. Like I don't get it. Like, and you got some guys over there. So it's like I don't understand like what we doing schematically. Like that was a disgusting performance by defense. Like that was as bad as what I've been seeing from the Ravens. Like that was that was terrible. Like I was like, damn. Like I thought it was gonna be a high scoring game, but I ain't think like it was gonna be that like one sided for the most part. Like y'all ain't stop him at all. Like for real. Like that was bad. Like that was bad. Offensively charges, y'all gotta fix them red zone woes. Like yeah, it's too hard to. I feel like it's too hard for y'all to score once y'all get in the red zone. But yeah, man, shout out to Coach, man. That was an impressive win. Like that, I ain't see it going like that. Like y'all went in there, punched them in the mouth, and then left. Like that's what that felt like. Like y'all just punched them, and the Chargers just kept ducking. Y'all just kept punching. The only good thing I saw was that they fought. Like they ain't give up. Like even though they was down big most of the game, like they kept playing. Like I like that because Chargers old line was getting they ain't had no run game. You said my man was the leading rusher. That's you know that's a problem. He the leading rusher and he had to throw the ball 55 times. I can tell you every time of the week you're gonna lose that game. So but shout out to Coach, man. That was impressive, man. I ain't gonna lie, that was impressive because I ain't see that coming.
Yeah, the Colts are, ladies and gentlemen, the Colts are a contender. Colts are a real contender in the AFC. Does that mean they're going to the Super Bowl? I don't know that. I still have a few questions I need to see, but I definitely think they've shown that they're a contender. Daniel Jones will not revert to a pumpkin, in my opinion. If he played bad, he played bad. But this is Daniel Jones. You put Daniel Jones around adequate talent, this is what he can be. This is why I thought he would win the comeback player of the year. So I'm not surprised that the Colts beat the Chargers. Your points about the Chargers defense. The Chargers defense haven't been able to stop the run in the past 2 seasons since Jim has been there. This is Jim's second season. They haven't been able to stop the run last year, and they can't stop the run this year. And if you can't stop the run, then you really are susceptible to any type of play. And like you said, every play could work against you because the heart of your team, which is to stop the run, you can't stop the run. And the Chargers, to me, couldn't stop the run. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor had 94 yards. Abdullah only had 2 carries. He had 20 yards. So he basically had 10 yards a pop. And Daniel Jones, he had 5 carries for 7 yards. So altogether, they had 120 yards. So that allowed the coach to play balanced type of offense where you can still have play action. You can still, run the ball as well. So for me, the Chargers couldn't stop the run. Now, as far as the Chargers offense, I think me and you to an extent have underestimated the offensive line injuries. Like they have offensive linemen literally going down every other play. Like that's going to be susceptible. And Justin Herbert is, to me, not that guy that can uplift everything. Most people can't uplift everything, so I'm not putting no crazy expectation on him. But he needs to have a stable offensive line in front of him for him to produce and play well. And they just don't have that right now. So, and when they do get protection, either the receiver, the ball get tipped up and it's not his fault, or the interception would be his fault. So the team just need to come together and play together. I think at 4-3, they still can obviously save their season, but they need to come together, figure out what they're going to do. Their defense, like you said, need to get tougher and more physical. And that offensive line, whatever unit they're going to have for the rest of the season, they need to have that unit. And I think after that point, they'll be fine. So congratulations on the Colts, in my opinion, stamping their flag as a contender in the AFC, becoming 6-1, and the Chargers dropping to 4-3. Ladies and gentlemen, the last game that I'm going to go over this week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24-9. Usually, you guys see me with my co-host Tim, the best co-host in the game. He gave me this segment to wipe the tears off my eye from Monday night. So, Tim, I appreciate you, bro. All love, man. Thank you for this segment. The Lions beat the Buccaneers 24-9. Baker Mayfield, 28 of 50, 228 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rashad White, 10 carries, 38 yards. Cade Otton, 7 catches, 65 yards. Tez Johnson, 4 catches, 58 yards, and 1 touchdown. For the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, 20 of 29, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 3 catches, 82 yards, receiving. My thoughts on this game, the Detroit Lions were the most physical. They were the best and the most physical team on the field. They let that be known early, very, very early in the game. Took the ball down the field, scored 7-0. Was actually up 14-0 in the middle of the first half. Tampa Bay tried to make a late run into the second quarter, early third quarter. Tampa Bay actually scored a touchdown. The one touchdown they scored all night was to Taz Johnson. The score was at that point 14-9. Todd Bowles went for 2. I thought that was a mistake. They didn't get it. It was 14-9, and Tampa Bay never could really, get back into the game. The Detroit Lions I saw on Monday night, I know Tim picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Now that team can go to the Super Bowl because they fight hard. They don't care about who was in, who's not. They found a way to get the job done. That was a very, very impressive performance by the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, and that new defensive coordinator, Calvin Shepard. Man, it's only a matter of time. He might be in the same line that Aaron Glenn is in, whereas though he might get a new job. He might eventually outclass the defensive coordinator job and become a head coach. I'm gonna give some love to Calvin Shepard. I'm gonna give some love to the Detroit Lions defense. Now to the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield did not play good. This was Baker Mayfield's first bad game of the season. Overthrowing people, underthrowing people. Yes, the pressure was getting to him, but I'm not gonna blame the offensive line. I'm not gonna blame the offensive coordinator. Baker Mayfield, you gotta make them throws. You made them throws up until this point of the season. You have to find a way to continuously make those throws. He did not. Jared Goff was the best quarterback on the field. Baker Mayfield, like I said, he had a bad game. Now, the interception that he thrown, interception that was on his record, I don't necessarily, that wasn't a bad interception. Ball hit, was a little high for Cade Otton, but the ball hit him right on his shoulder pad and at the sands. I feel like that's on the receiver. But Baker Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen, did not play good. And he has to own that. As a support of his and a support of the team, I have to own that. So, Tampa Bay, week 8, they play at New Orleans. That game is Sunday at 4:05. Meanwhile, the Lions are on a bye week. So it's a perfect week to go into a bye week. The Lions are 5-2. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 5-2. Congratulations to the Detroit Lions on getting a win 24-9 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tim, it's that time. The best segment in sports. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. As always, during the NFL season is our weekly NFL observation takeaways. Tim, as always, my brother, you start us off.
Man, my first one, man. They made me believe, man. Colts are the best team in football right now. From an offensive standpoint, it's hard to stop them. They play on scheduled football. Like if you notice, most of their second downs, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, like it's very manageable. Like the way they call the plays, it's like it's definitely on a perfect schedule right now. Like you don't, they're dictating how you play defense. Like you know what I'm saying. So like they the best team defensively. Still a little shaky, but I feel like the way that offense play, you most of the time you're gonna have to catch up to them. So that's my first one, man. Colts best team in the football, man. I'ma steal a line from my man. I am Butter B on Instagram, man. Eagles, man, get the ball to the law firm, man. Smith and Brown. Just get the ball to the law firm, Smith and Brown. We'll be fine. Just get them the ball. Like as y'all seen Sunday, we get the ball to them. The football real simple when we get the ball to those two guys. Just get them the ball, man. I don't care how you get them to them. Just get them the ball. My last one. I'm gonna call y'all know I got the running back love thing going on. R&B love. I got something for the quarterbacks. We gonna call it air it out, man. Air it out. Air it out started on Thursday. I ain't see this coming. I don't think nobody seen this coming. Joe Flacco, 31 for 47, 342 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's my first quarterback. The next quarterback, the one they told me could not throw the ball, had a perfect passer rate. Jalen Hurts was 19 of 23, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns. And my last quarterback was Daniel Jones, 23 for 34, 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hey, man, that probably was the best quarterback week I saw this year. And honorable mention, Justin Herbert. I know they lost, but on for 420. That's still a lot of yards, so honorable mention.
Great observations as always, my brother. I'm going to start my week 7 observations with Giants Broncos, craziest ending I think I possibly have ever seen. I'm not exaggerating on that. The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. They scored 33 in the fourth quarter. It was 19-0 going into the fourth quarter, and the Broncos scored 33. I'm gonna give y'all a Joshism. The Giants are in this stage where, in order, in order to learn how to win, you must learn how not to lose. I'll repeat that again. In order to win, you must learn how not to lose. The Giants are in that stage where they're going to lose games. They're young. They got mistakes, coaching error, stuff like that. But this will help them in the future because this will help them understand what they need to do to win games. You have to close games out. The Giants obviously didn't close that game out. And if you're up 19-0 in the fourth quarter, you're definitely supposed to win that game. So that Giants-Broncos afternoon window game was crazy. Craziest ending, like I said, I think I've ever seen. My second takeaway, I'll go back to the Colts and the Chargers. It's no disrespect to Bijan Robinson, no disrespect to Christian McCaffrey, no disrespect to Saquon Barkley. Your man, he having a down season, but we expected though he had 2,000 yards, won the Super Bowl. Should have broke the rushing record last year. But in my opinion, the best running back this season has been Jonathan Taylor. We can give Daniel Jones his credit, but Jonathan Taylor has been balling all season. He's been spectacular. 697 yards, 10 touchdowns this season, first in both categories in the NFL. And again, we can always show love to the quarterbacks, but without Jonathan Taylor and obviously without that offensive line, the Colts would not be 6-1. So I just want to give Jonathan Taylor his flowers, his love. I think he's played the running back position the best out of anybody this season so far. And like I said, honorable mention to Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, other running backs as well. But to me, Jonathan Taylor has been the best running back in the league this season so far. And my last takeaway, we spoke about them a little bit last week. The Bears could win 10, 11 games this season. They probably won't. And the reason why they won't is because they get in their own way. Chicago, you got to stop getting in your own way. You'll get a first down, then you'll get a full stop. You'll have a big play, and then it'll be a holding call. Like, you guys, I feel like you got the right situation with the right coach, the right quarterback, the right offensive line, and the right talent around him. The defense is, to me, average to slightly above average. Defense can make plays when it's time to make plays. You can't beat yourself. You feel me? You just can't do that. And I feel like the Chicago Bears, they beat themselves. Once they learn how to stop beating themselves, like I said the last point, in order to win, you must first learn how not to lose. The Bears are in that category as well. Now, they'll win some games because they have a last place schedule, but when they play the good teams, they will lose to the good teams because they beat themselves.
So I know that y'all heard me say the Bears season was over. I tell you this, I'm gonna stand on that. If they lose to the Ravens, the season is over. I don't care who comes back for the Ravens. They got to be a real, because if you look at that next part of their schedule, that's when they got to start playing football. That first part was they beat some mediocre teams in that first part.
Yeah, they played at Cincinnati after the Ravens, then they played the Giants, then they played at Minnesota. I think let's just hypothetically say Lamar come back, and I think the Ravens win that game. Let's just say that. I think they could beat Cincinnati. I think they could beat the Giants.
Okay, that's 7 wins, and then the games after that.
Then they play at Minnesota. They play Pittsburgh, at Philly, at Green Bay. They play Cleveland versus Green Bay, at the 49ers, and then they play the Lions. So that's tough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for me to switch what I think, they got to beat the Ravens, because like the Ravens, I don't care who they bring back this week, like they still not a good football team. Like they wasn't playing good when what's the name was there. So like you got to me, if you really want to turn the corner, you got to win that game, because y'all could lose to Cincinnati. It ain't like y'all let Flacco. Y'all let Flacco get time like the Steelers did, and y'all defense corners ain't as good technically. He could do the same thing with Chase, because he one thing about these vet quarterbacks, if y'all notice, they get the guys the ball. Like Chase has 17 targets. Like he know who to throw the ball to. Like unlike some of these younger guys, they act like they don't know. Like McCarthy act like he ain't know who Justin Jefferson was. Wentz going to at least throw him the ball. Now whether they win or lose, that's a whole different. That depends on where his mind at. But at least he gonna throw on the ball. So that's what I'm saying. Like them game, that Cincinnati game gonna be a little tougher than, you know what I'm saying. So they gotta beat the Ravens. For me to be like, I can see some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, one thing about this in the NFL, any of these games can go either way.
Oh, yeah,
I don't ever put you must gotta win this game on certain games.
I'm not saying not must win. Like I'm just saying for me, I think for they psyche to turn the corner, they got to beat the Ravens because it's like y'all ain't really like I can't think of they wins off the top of my head, but I don't think they have like no signature.
They beat Dallas, they beat the Raiders, they beat the Commanders, and they beat the Saints.
So Commanders, I don't know if they played them with Daniels or not. I don't think they
did.
He played.
That was Monday night.
Oh yeah. They fumbled the ball. Yeah, so it's like y'all don't really have no.
But let me just say this about the Bears. What people are doing to the Bears, y'all didn't do with Washington last year. Now I get Jaden Daniels might have played better than what Caleb Williams is playing this year, but the Commanders didn't beat nobody last year. The best team they beat was a 9-8. I don't count them beating y'all because the quarterback got knocked out the game. The best team they beat was a 9-8 Cincinnati team. So that tells me you don't have.
You're talking about the team that went to the playoffs though, like and went deep in the playoffs. I'm saying for the Bears, no. I'm not saying that Washington won. I ain't say they beat nobody to get to the playoffs. I'm saying for them.
I get what they did in the playoffs. I get that, but I'm saying you don't have to beat elite teams to get to the playoffs. You just got to win games on your schedule, and I'm saying Washington proved that.
But I'm saying they
good last year.
Yeah, but they not. That's what I'm saying. So okay, Washington ain't beat nobody good, but the Bears second half of their schedule, they gonna have to beat some good teams. So I'm saying for them to turn, turn the corner, I think they gotta beat the Ravens though. Like if you even want a shot at the playoffs, I mean you gotta beat the Ravens.
I see. Where I disagree with you on that is this: they could beat the Ravens and lose to the Bengals. You're in the same position.
No, I'm saying. I'm saying for the team, like team psyche, right? Going into Baltimore and beating Baltimore. Like that's going to do something to the morale. Like, oh, we might be a little bit better than we, you know what I'm saying? Even we think we in the room, right? Because like to be honest, we beat Washington. It was on them. Like Jalen Daniels. Like I wouldn't be excited about that win. Like we barely scathed that win. Like it ain't like, oh no, we just beat Washington. Like you know what I'm saying?
I would be excited because last year the season ended at Washington. So to me, you have.
No, but it's like.
However, how you win is how you win. I get your point.
That's what I'm saying. It's different. That's what I'm saying. That's why coaches think different. Like I know why we won that game. It ain't like we played good. You know what I'm saying? Like we won the game, but it ain't like we played good. So it's like I know
get how Ben Johnson would take it. I get how Ben Johnson would take it. I understand.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
talking about the psyche of the players. The psyches of the players, like, yo, last year our season ended here. We came back. We got that jinx off our back. We good now.
Y'all didn't though. Y'all didn't come in there and win. Like you know what I'm saying? Y'all won the game, but y'all didn't come in. Like for me to get a jinx off my back, like we gotta come in there and win the game. Like we didn't come in there and win. W.O.W bobbled the ball in the rain and y'all got the fumble. Like we ain't coming there and win. They had 3 turnovers as well. We ain't coming there and win the game. We took the game. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a little different psyche wise. Now y'all go to Baltimore and beat Baltimore. I feel like it's a click.
If you go there and the guys ain't playing, like they don't prove nothing. Like you went there and you beat a bad team. Like that's my point. Like I'm
saying Baltimore guys, most of them coming back this week. So I'm saying like, okay, record wise they bad, but they, you know what I'm saying? They still a formidable. Like I'm saying for y'all to turn the corner. Like this is a game y'all need to win to turn the corner. That's all I'm saying. Like I don't think Ravens are that good, but I'm saying for y'all gotta win this game.
For me, whoever they play, they can't beat themselves. That's my point of the takeaway. They cannot beat themselves, and they did things against the Saints on Sunday. If they played better teams, they're gonna lose. You feel me? False starts, jumping off sides, motion and not setting up. You know, lining up wide receiver, lining over top of the offensive line and stuff like that. Simple stuff like that will get you beat in the NFL. You know that. I know that. Small plays will get you beat. So for me, they need to take care of the things they need to do better. Once they do that, sky's the limit for them. They can do whatever they feel like they can do. But until they do that, they will be all right. They will be all right. Okay, like yeah, they can. Let's see them. You know, they'll be that. Stop beating yourselves. I think the Chicago Bears could find a way to take that next step. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. Tim, it is week 8 in the NFL. Season is halfway done, man. Like this season, NFL football, this football, college football, NFL, high school football, this stuff go by fast, man. Week 8, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with the 4-2 Buffalo Bills traveling to the 4-3 Carolina Panthers. This game is Sunday, 1 p.m. on Fox. Buffalo Bills are favored by 7.5. The over-under is 45.5. I'll start us off with this one. Buffalo Bills are coming off a home loss to the New England Patriots. They were on their bye week, week 7. This is obviously week 8. Carolina's coming off a road win against the New York Jets. Bryce Young, the starting quarterback, has an injury. He more likely than not will miss Sunday's game at Carolina, or not Sunday's game home against the Buffalo Bills. So with that being said, I am taking the Buffalo Bills to go down to Carolina and beat the Carolina Panthers. I think Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills want to get that get back for losing to the Patriots at home. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, man, I think the Bills just going to be refreshed after the bye week, ready to play. I think they get after Dalton, and they get the win. I think James Cook has a big game. I think they win this by double digits.
We both agree on the Buffalo Bills. Tim, I know you disagree with me on this. I still got faith in my Panthers being the second best team in the NFC South. I'm not giving up on you. Carolina, I think you got to say, Tim, they're a gritty team. They fight.
Yeah. No, I respect what they got going on over there. I just think they lacking a little talent, but like I respect it though.
No, they definitely are lacking talent. You're 100% right. Bryce Young again won't be there this week. They got my boy J.C. Horn. I know a couple weeks ago I said Quayon Mitchell was the second best corner in the league. I kind of forgot about J.C. Horn. They both are very, very, very good corners. So you can make a case J.C. Horn might be the best up there with Patrick Surtain. So I like what Carolina got, man. But I think we both think Buffalo will be too much for them. The next game that we're going to preview is Sunday at 4:25 Eastern. This game is on CBS. The 3-1 Dallas Cowboys travel to Denver to take on the 5-2 Denver Broncos. The Broncos are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 49.5. I'll start us off with this one. Cowboys. They got a blowout win against the Washington Commanders Sunday. Jaden Daniels was hurt in that game. In my opinion, the Cowboys were going to win that game anyway. They were already beating him before he got hurt, but he still got hurt. I feel like that should still be acknowledged. So I thought the Commanders were the perfect opponent for them. I do not think the Broncos will be the perfect opponent for them. I think the Broncos squeaked by against the New York Giants. I think that defense underperformed against Jackson Dart. So I think this defense at home will want to get their get back for a subpar to bad performance at home against the Giants in week 7. Give me the Denver Broncos to improve their record to 6-2 and defeat the Dallas Cowboys.
So yeah, man, offense versus defense, right? What's the name? Cowboys got explosive offense. Broncos got a good defense. I think they ready for this matchup. Surtain probably matched up with Lamb most of the day. So that should be a good back and forth to see. I think the Broncos are going to try to bring more physicality to the game, so they're going to run the ball with Dobbins. I like the quarterback run game with Knicks. And I think Denver wins the game at home. I think they start a little better this week versus a bad Cowboys defense. I think they play a little bit of keep away, like they have long possessions, limit the Cowboys from getting too many possessions. So I like the Broncos as well at home.
We both are on the Denver Broncos at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Again, this game is 4:25 on CBS. Last game we're going to preview, the 4-1-1 Green Bay Packers travel to the 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is Sunday night on NBC, 8:20. The Packers are favored by 3.5. The over-under is 44.5. This is obviously a revenge game for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was the Packers quarterback for many, many years. He's First time going against his former team. Packers are led by Jordan Love. Steelers are led by Aaron Rodgers. Tim, who gets their fifth win Sunday in Pittsburgh?
So
Green
I
Bay
think the
Packers
Ste-
or Pittsburgh Steelers?
my fault. I think the Steelers defense, man, they let themselves down last week versus Cincinnati. It was a bad performance all the way around. Like it was just terrible on defense. And I think offensively they getting a little bit more better, like opening it up the playbook a little bit more, letting them throw a little bit more. I still think they need to get DK involved more because he had 2 catches in the first half. He had 3 catches in the first half, then had no catches in the second half. So I'm going Pittsburgh, man. I think they knuckle up, play a little more physical, stop the run. They got to stop Josh Jacobs though, because if they let Jacobs run like Chase Brown, then it's gonna be a long day for them. But like I said, I think the defense turns it around. Like I don't think that feeling they had versus the Bengals, like, and they don't got Chase or Higgins neither, so that actually helps a lot too. So give me the Steelers. I like the Steelers, man.
I thought I was going to be the one taking the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers as well for all the same reasons you picked. I thought the defense played below average against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Joe Flacco. Mike Tomlin kind of started that early in the week last week when he was complaining about the Browns trading Joe Flacco in the division. I felt that. I felt. Well, we understand why he did that, but I felt that set the undercurrent with the team, kind of indirectly gave the team a way out. Like, damn, our coach already complaining. Like, all right, cool. Like, all right, we can complain too, but we just gonna complain on the field. He complaining, through a microphone. So I think the Steelers defense will play well, and I think Aaron Rodgers wants his get back. And the Steelers have played relatively well this season. They lost to the Seahawks at home, and they lost to the Bengals on the road. So with that being said, I think the Steelers find a way to get this win. So give me Aaron Rodgers to get his revenge. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to improve to 5-2 on this NFL season. Ladies and gentlemen, should be a great week 8. As you guys see on the screen, notable games. Just 2 notable games this week. Minnesota Vikings travel to the LA Chargers to take on, travel to LA to take on the Chargers. That game is Thursday night, 8:15 on Amazon. And the aforementioned Chicago Bears, they travel to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens Sunday at 1:00. Tim, what game catches your attention?
Minnesota versus Chargers. Chargers, I want to see where y'all hard at, especially defensively. Minnesota. What's y'all record? What's Minnesota record?
Minnesota's 3-3. The Chargers are 4-3.
Yeah, so both of them, not going to say they hungry for a dub, but they both need a dub just to get morale back. So, yeah, I think that's a big game. Yeah, that's a big game. I want to see the Chargers. I want to see defensively what is the adjustments going to be made. And can they start the run? Because if they can't start the run versus the Vikings, it ain't going to look similar because they not as good as the Colts. But, yeah, Chargers, Vikings.
Yeah, for me, I want to with that game. Then I'll touch the Bears and the Ravens. With the Vikings, Chargers, Carson Wentz, don't turn the ball over. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles played well. We agree on that. Carson Wentz, you gave them 7 points, so you can't turn the ball over. You just cannot do that. So you gave them multiple chances to get interceptions. They only caught 2 of them, so they could have had more. Carson Wentz, don't turn the ball over with the Chargers. See if that defense can improve. See if that offensive line can improve. They can figure out a way to get to 5-3. Big game for both teams. Vikings trying to get to 4-3. The Chargers trying to get to 5-3. As far as the Bears and the Ravens, Bears are 4-2. Ravens are 1-5. To me, this game all comes down to who plays for the Ravens. If Lamar Jackson plays, I have an idea. I think the Ravens have a great shot at winning this game. If he doesn't play, I think the Bears should go in there and find their way to get to 5-2. So, not that many great NFL games this week, but just a couple of notable games, just to say the least. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, I want to touch on the MLB playoffs. When we see you guys next week, the World Series will have already started. World Series Game 1 begins Friday night. The LA Dodgers, led by 3 home run, 10 strikeout sweep from Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers. That's the greatest baseball performance I think I've ever seen from a player in a game. That's crazy. That's like Little League World Series type stuff in the MLB. Crazy. The Dodgers Dodgers win the NL pennant. They advance to the World Series. They take on the winner of the Seattle Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays. I had the Mariners. Tim got the Blue Jays. Game 7, Monday night. We will find out who advances to take on the LA Dodgers in the World Series. It's been a great MLB playoff so far, Tim.
Yeah, it has, especially since Otani, he was struggling before that, and it's crazy. Like they said, he got extra batting practice in. See, that I love stuff like that. Like you struggling and you do something extra. Like you know what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of people don't do nothing extra when they're struggling. Let's just keep the same routine. You know what I'm saying. But he got extra batting practice, came out there early, didn't give you a performance of a lifetime. That's normally how that works when you put some extra work in. So shout out to the Dodgers. I went against y'all. I wasn't faithful going against y'all. I just wanted to see something different, but. I ain't gonna lie, the Dodgers gonna win this thing again, and they're gonna win it again next year. They might win it again. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It's just you know what I'm saying.
their team is better than the National League All Star team that they put together every year
You know what I'm
to
saying? So
play in the
I
All
just
Star.
was hoping. I was just hoping because the Brewers went on the crazy. I was following the Brewers for a little bit. I was hoping they could. Nah, I ain't really had no faith though. So yeah, good luck. Good luck playing them.
Seattle Mariners, Toronto Blue Jays Game 7 of the American League Championship is Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox/FS1. Last thing before we get out of here, the NBA returns Tuesday night. John was with us during basketball season. He'll be back with us during this basketball season. We mentioned during the last basketball season that the NBA has switched media right partners. The NBA has went to Amazon. The NBA has went back to NBC and has stayed with ESPN and ABC. So the first night usually is on TNT. There is no more NBA on TNT. Now it is NBA on NBC. And the first night has the Houston Rockets traveling to OKC to watch the Oklahoma City unveil that championship banner, get that championship ring. That game is at 7:30 on ABC. The second game is the Golden State Warriors, led by Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, take on the Los Angeles Lakers, led by Luka Doncic. LeBron James will be out. He is nursing I call it an old man injury as a butt injury. So he's nursing that, trying to rehab and get well from that. That is your NBA on NBC on Tuesday, NBA on ESPN Wednesday. You have the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks. And you have the San Antonio Spurs and the Dallas Mavericks. Battle of Victor Wembanyama and Cooper Flag. That is Wednesday night on ESPN. No, I'm sorry. ESPN's first game is the Cavaliers and the Knicks, and the Spurs and the Mavs. And then on Friday night on Amazon, you have the Celtics and the Knicks, and you have the Timberwolves and the Lakers. That is your national opening week media availability for the NBA. You gave me a crazy look, bro. Like what's going on here?
Dang, Victor Wembanyama versus Flag, not Anthony Davis. We skipped over.
I'm sorry. Victor Wembanyama versus Anthony Davis.
I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Klay Thompson.
And the number one pick. You go with I don't know. You know,
in the current number one pick of the draft. I apologize. I gotta get that name right by stewardship. I'm sorry. You are right about Anthony Davis, but we know what to expect from Anthony Davis. The main headline in that particular game will be how the played for the Dallas Mavericks. So that's why I said his name first. But ladies and gentlemen, my quick NBA preseason predictions, as you guys see on the screen. Start off with MVP. I like Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets. Most improved player, I like Jalen Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks. Rookie of the year, Tim, I gave it away. I like Cooper Flag to win the Rookie of the year. Coach of the year, I like Quinn Snyder from the Atlanta Hawks. Defensive player of the year, I like Victor Wembanyama. And the sixth man, I know it says clutch player of the year up there, but change that to sixth man. Sixth man of the year, I like DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Hawks. No, I'm sorry. I said Atlanta Hawks. I'm sorry. From the Cleveland Cavaliers. I like DeAndre Hunter to win the sixth man from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the Cavaliers will be one of the best teams in the NBA. My playoff predictions, in the West, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the LA Clippers. I have those teams being the top 6 seed, no particular order. In the play-in, I have the Dallas Mavericks, the LA Lakers, the Memphis Grizzlies, and I have the San Antonio Spurs making the play-in. Those are my 10 teams in the Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference, I have the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Atlanta Hawks, the Orlando Magic, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Detroit Pistons as my top 6 teams in the East. My play-in teams, the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Toronto Raptors. I have the Denver Nuggets playing the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA championship, and Nikola Jokic wins his second NBA championship. I have the Nuggets beating the Cavaliers in the NBA championship. Your thoughts, bro?
That's interesting. Nuggets and the Cavaliers.
Nuggets in the
Yeah.
Cavs. The Knicks. They fired their head coach. I think that'll be an adjustment with them learning Mike Brown. The sneaky team I had to make the finals in the East, because I think the East is wide open. Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for the Atlanta Hawks. I had the Hawks in the finals. I really did. If you look at what the Hawks did, you got Nickeil Alexander-Walker during the offseason. You got Kristaps Porzingis. You signed Luke Kennard. They signed some shooters to play with Trae Young, and they got some defensive players there already. They just need to. They got the offense. They just need to get timely stops. The Hawks could be what Indiana was last year in the East, where you saw a team not necessarily come out of nowhere because Indiana played in the conference finals before, but I think the Hawks will be better than what people think that they will. So for me, I had the Hawks in there, but I took them out and put the Cavs in there. For me, I think Denver. I think the West. You could name 6 teams. You can name the 8 teams that make the playoffs in the West. All of them could win the championship. All of them could. And somehow, some way, if they, paths went their way. But I just think Denver, to me, has the best player, Nikola Jokic. I think he finds a way to get the second championship. So the Nuggets over the Cavs.
Interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, should be a great NBA season. Again, the NBA season starts Tuesday night, 7:30. Well, 6:30 coverage starts on NBC, and the first game is the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching episode 55 of the best sports show out, Highly Opinionated. For the best producer, the best editor, the best guy here on Highly Opinionated, Ross. For the best co-host in the game, my guy, Randallstown Rec legend himself, Tim. I'm Merely Josh. We will see you guys next week for episode 56. We out.
Appreciate y'all.